Looking forward to, well, there we go. Good afternoon, and welcome to Father's Talk. Glad to have you in with what we're going to be talking about today. Hopefully, you find this very helpful, very confidence building, and most importantly, that it will help you help us all to really move forward. And I'm not just sharing this with you just so I can just pour stuff out, but I find these topics also to be relevant and helpful to me as well. So, with that, let's get into it. Let's go ahead and tackle this thing because this one kind of rates up there pretty high. And this topic for today, no more excuses. No more excuses. Let's get ourselves out of the way so that we can really move forward, that we can press into something truly great this year. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's stop putting stuff off. Let's stop justifying what we're doing, which is not helping us to build, helping us to move, helping us to discover, helping us to unlock, helping us to increase, helping us to steady and right the ship, helping us in the ways and in the areas that we need. Because there's a lot of things that are always clamoring for our attention, clamoring for our time. And some of those aren't really for our benefit, for our good. They're just distractions. They're just obstacles. And the key is to any and every single obstacle, it's something that is meant to be overcome. So we have to get it fixed in our minds that, you know what? I'm not going to be stopped here. I'm not going to be denied here. I'm not going to be put off here just because things aren't ideal right now. If they're not ideal right now, you know what? That means it's time for me to get to work. That means it's time for me to reevaluate. If I don't like the rut that it seems like my life in, it's like every time I start to make it, something comes up and then everything just collapses down. Everything that's been built up, all my momentum, all my force, all the structure, all the things that I need, the things that are going and moving in the way and the direction that I want them to, and then something, it just seems like something comes along and it just snags and destroys and wrecks everything. Then it's time for me to reevaluate. It's time for me to hit the reset button. It's time for me to take a harder look at myself. How am I doing things? And was everything so hinged on one thing because that went wrong, that went awry? Now everything is messed up. I really need to understand and really take the time to look at how I'm enacting the best way to shape my future. What am I really doing? What am I really about? What am I focusing on? What am I concentrating on? Where is my time? What is it that I'm putting my energy and my effort into? Because those are the only areas that are going to see and receive any kind of growth from me. So if I'm just taking the time to surround myself with, we'll just say it like this, pleasurable things. And when I say pleasurable, that means, hey, I'm just spending time on my apps. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on whatever it is, whatever form it takes. Or again, talking about pleasure, I'm watching TV. I got my shows, or I'm binge watching something that I wanted to see or somebody told me about. So I'm going jumping on my streaming service and I'm watching 5 and 6 hours of this and 5 and 6 hours of that. But when I really look at my life and the fact that I'm dissatisfied with the way things are right now, I'm dissatisfied with what seems like an endless circle, an endless loop that I can't get out of, then I need to stop, look, and listen and start scrutinizing what I do. What I do. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. What do we do with our day? For those of us that work, it's 8 hours on the job given. Then say an hour. maybe to drive to and from the job, or maybe even if you travel distance, like I do, it's 1 hour there, or you have to arrive earlier than the time that you're scheduled to be there, just so that you can have things right and set up. So let's just say total time associated with work, 10 hours. Then you sleep. Let's say you get at least 6 hours. So now you're up to 16 already. Then what do you do with those other 8 hours in your day? Or however much time you have to take. Maybe, you got to get your kids ready for school. So that takes 1 to 2, maybe even in some cases, because you've got stair stepping children, that's a 3 hour process. You get up, then you get them up, then you get them ready, then you get them out the door. Then bam, you got to turn right back around and get yourself up, ready. And even if you're working from home, you got to make the switch and the transition from, okay, got the kids going, got them ready, got them together. Or if they're being homeschooled right now, they're set up, they're in their work areas, workstations, they're on the computer, on the laptop, they're going forward, they're getting work done, they're in their sessions, they're paying attention to everything that's going on with them. Bam. So now I got to get me, and I do me. And then the next thing we know, it's like, okay, so now that 8 hours you had is cut down. Let's say just dealing with the kids, you do lose another 3 hours. So now you're down to 5 hours. And then there's time to eat, time to just breathe for a second. So let's just take another 3 hours from that. So now you're left with 2 hours in the day. Still, even with that time, what do you do with it? What do you do with it? Because any amount of time that you have that you can put effort in, put time in, even if it's just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to help produce the future that you want, to see the opportunities in line with where you want to go, then you got to start making moves to head in that direction. You can't stay there and expect, you know what, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. We're no, no, you just can't. We can't. We have to get out of, see, excuses just run interference for us receiving our true opportunities. And can we really calculate how many opportunities we've missed due to excuses? Well, I don't feel like it. I'm tired. Kids got in the way. I don't have enough time. Any moment you get, any moment you get, you have to seize it, because otherwise they will just continue to run away from you. They will continue to cycle away from you. You look up and it's like, okay, I'm just going to sit down and watch TV for an hour. And then 1 hour then turned into an hour and a half. And that hour and a half then turned into two. That 2.5 then turned into 3. And now you keep, it's like, oh my goodness, you lost another day. You lost another opportunity. And the thing is, we really have to look at ourselves, because nobody can get us out of the situations that we're in except ourselves. So we have to stop making excuses. Stop saying it's okay to miss and to mess up when it comes time to get down to work. Because nobody else is going to stand up for, well, they didn't do it. They didn't have opportunities. Well, they had time, but kids. There comes a time where you just got to sit the kids down. There comes a time when it's put the kids in another room and get to work, or give the kids something to do so you can work. We have to stop making excuses for why we can't improve our life situations. And here's the thing, we have to be so sick and tired of it. We have to be so fed up that it changes our determination and our viewpoint that, you know what, I can't stay here anymore. I can't remain in this way, because if I stay like this, I'm gonna blow up. Stuff around me is, I've got to see some change. So where does change start? Change starts with us. We want to see new experiences. We want to see greater things happening in our life. We want to see more opportunities. Then we've got to take hold. We've got to take responsibility, and we've got to get some structure and some order. Start getting up. Write down what you want to accomplish. So you can say, okay, here's my day. Here's what I want to get done today. And I'm going to do it flat out. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let I'm not going to let people stop me. I'm not going to let things stop me. I'm not going to allow time to run away from me. I'm designating from this time to this time. This is when I'm going to put in my work. This is when I'm going to line myself up and start really orchestrating my day in such a way that I see results, because it comes down to our choices. What do we choose to do with the time that we have? Because somewhere in there is free time. I don't care if it's time that you spend in the bathroom while you're on the toilet. That's still time that you can have. You could be reading something. You could be discovering something. You could be learning about something. And the thing is, honestly, right now, there are so many tools that we don't tap into. Personal example. Um, I try to keep myself in shape. I try very hard to discipline my body and have it stay so I can continue to function. So back in 2018, I messed up my shoulder. And it actually not only messed up my shoulder, but it also messed up uh, my bicep and my chest. And so as a result, one of my best forms of keeping in shape was doing, I'll call them lateral press push-ups. So basically where you get on the floor and you do your push-ups. So because of the injury to my shoulder and the injury to my chest, couldn't do it. I could try, and the most push-ups I could do succinctly without stopping was 3. I was accustomed to running off 50 to 60, and if I was feeling real good, maybe even 70, 65, 70 push-ups straight in about 2.5 minutes time. Then take a break. And my goal usually, when I was doing push-ups, I would do 2 to 3 sets a day. So between 1 to 200 sets of push-ups or reps, however you want to say it. I would do that during the course of the day, and it helped me keep tone, keep trim, keep everything under. So then after the injury, I couldn't figure out, okay, what am I going to do to help keep myself in shape? Because I used to use push-ups, but now the push-ups ain't working because I really can't do push-ups. And then I started looking at myself, and it's like, oh, legs starting to get a little thick. Oh, belly starting to get a little round. Uh-oh, are those love handles I'm starting to see? So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to make excuses? Well, my shoulder hurts. Well, guess what? It's either find another means or just go ahead and get fat. Those were my choices. So I found out that one thing that works for me is I start doing what I call tabletop push-ups. So it's basically the same action, except instead of being completely laid out on the floor, it's now leaning up against a table, a countertop, a dresser, something that has enough weight behind it to support my weight. And I do push-ups. And with those push-ups, since it's not working as much as the body as before, so I do a much greater quantity than what I would normally do with regular push-ups, or like I said before, lateral press. So what I do now is I do anywhere from 800 to 1,000. Yes, 800 to 1,000. And you'd be surprised because it's tabletop. It doesn't take that long to actually do it. Even if you do it in sets of, well, for me, sets of 50 or more at a time until I get up around 800 to 1,000. And then once I hit that, now I go on YouTube, and there's a little workout I like to do, warm up, excuse me, I like to do on a site called Fitness Blender. So I'll do that. And the thing is, there are hundreds of sites. There are hundreds of workouts that you can do at home and without weights, or even using things around the house, from cans to milk cartons to water cartons to I mean, there are, when you have the desire, you will find a way to fulfill it. You can start right where you are. So even if it's like, okay, I don't have the money to do the things that I want to do, start where you are. Start doing things from home until the opportunity comes up. And the thing is, when you start moving in a direction, the opportunities will start coming to you. Instead of sitting on your duff, waiting for somebody to open up and say, you've been looking for this. Here it is. Let's start charging. Let's start advancing. Let's start moving forward. Let's just start somewhere. Even if it's starting, okay, let me make a plan. Let me make a plan. I'm seeing this about my life, and here's what I want to change. Okay, how can I go about changing it? Well, the ideal way would be this, but I don't have this. But what can I supplement to go ahead and work this thing out for to take advantage of where I am right now until I get the things that I want? I mean, even if you start, okay, say you want to exercise and you see some of this equipment that's on TV and stuff, and then you check the price, and it's like, oh, it's going to take me $500 to get that equipment. So that's the ultimate goal. But what can I get, or what can I do right now until I get there? Because I don't have the money for it now. So one, let me start planning on saving so I can get to that mark. I can buy it, and then I can have it at home, and then I can start using that to work out. But how can I start exercising now so when I get it, I won't be in even worse shape trying to get started from where I'll be at that time, regardless of how long it may take you to actually get to where you want to. So you start laying out a plan, and it's like, okay, so I want to stay in shape. Maybe I can walk around the neighborhood. Uh, maybe I can do exercises while I'm in the office. Leg lifts. Here's another example. I know there was one job I had where it was a desk job, and I wanted to keep myself kind of going while I was at work. So one of the things I would do is just leg lifts, literally, while I'm sitting in my chair, lift my legs up, hold them up in place for like 20, 30 seconds at a time. Something simple, but yet and still effective. Again, there are a lot of ways. And I'm just staying on this topic because it's something that a lot of people can relate to. So, losing weight, changing your diet, even if you just start supplementing certain things that you do. So you go out to eat, say 4 or 5 times a week. Here's a healthy tip, simple tip. You help yourself more when you actually stay away from fast food versus going to an eat-in restaurant. Most fast food is processed, which means it's not fresh. It's going to have a lot of salt and fat content just so it can keep. So when you go to most eateries versus fast food, 9 times out of 10, the food is going to be healthier. It's going to be cooked better. It's going to be prepared better, and it's going to come to you fresher. So that's one way you can have the same amount. And here's a little sidebar on that same subject, because I don't know if a lot of you have noticed, but going to fast food restaurants, the prices of their meals are almost the exact same as if you were to go to an eatery. So here's an example. If you go to Wendy's and order a combo meal, drink, fries, and a burger, it costs almost the same amount as going to get drinks, fries, and a burger from most Applebee's, Chili's, O'Charlie's. Oh, those all rhymed, didn't they? But yet and still, all these different Longhorns. And guess what? You get a much larger sandwich. You get much larger portions on your fries and a drink, and you're paying almost the same exact amount. Again, evaluating what's most important to us. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to see ourselves compared now going forward? It's time for us to make some valid decisions, some really powerful choices, so that we can get out of the muck and the mire. If you're tired of living from paycheck to paycheck, start scrutinizing where you put your money. Start scrutinizing how you spend your money. Is it that maybe you're not really wasteful, but everything that you have that you use your money for, maybe it's not all necessary. Maybe in some cases you'll find out that some of the places that you do spend money, if you actually pay for stuff in advance, you actually save money. You might want to check into that. See, we're cutting out the excuses. We're eliminating reasons why we can't succeed. And we're going to start beginning to give ourselves every opportunity to succeed. Hurdles, obstacles meant to be overcome. They're difficult, but guess what? You can overcome it. It's not meant to stop you. It's meant to challenge you, not stop you. You got to believe that you're advancing. And the fact that you're advancing means that stuff might get in the way. People might get in the way. Things may not happen perfectly as you would hope. But guess what? That's not going to stop me from moving. That's not going to stop me from propelling myself forward. That's not going to keep or prevent me from seeing the future that I want to see. I'm going somewhere. So that means I've got to get up and make some hard choices for myself. I've got to put myself in position to succeed. And another aspect about that is we've got to become masters. We've got to become experts. We've got to become excellent. And the only way that really happens, repetition. Repetition. Those who become experts in a field, I'll put it to you like this. If you're on a job and you learn that job up and down, forward and backwards, left, right, there's nothing about it you can't handle, you can't tackle, and you're doing it all with excellence. I tell you this, that the job cannot prevent your possibilities. That because of the fact that you are an expert, new doors and windows will open up before and unto you. You will see yourself enjoying, well, I'll put it to you like this. You'll see yourself differently because guess what? You'll feel qualified for the position. And then guess what that does? That sets you up for the promotion, for opportunities that previously weren't there. So I tell you this, if you want to improve on your job, but you're like, okay, the job is not helping me, help yourself. You can go to the library and find out books on what it is you do. Shoot, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Google and research and start looking up and find ways to help yourself that will be beneficial on the job. Language barriers. You can go online, you can go and hello, most of this stuff is what? Free. The only thing it's going to cost you is time and effort. So if you're willing to put in the time, you're willing to put in the effort, it will start happening for you. So you've got to really decide that, you know what? My repetitious acts are going to lead me to mastery. So if I want to master my money, I need to start repeating some good habits in what I do with my money, how I set my check up when I know I get, okay, here comes so much. Take care of bills, bills done. Now I'm taking care of expenditures, that's done. Now what's left? Okay, I've got this much left, I'll save that, or I'll invest that, or I'll put this away here, or see, we've got a lot of opportunities before us. It's just that we negate them. Why? Because we fill up our eyes and our time, our mind with other stuff that doesn't help, stuff that's taking us nowhere, stuff that's not providing us with anything that we need. So let me help you. We've just got to make some relevant and powerful, impactful decisions and really start looking at stuff. So if I want to grow, what am I doing to help myself grow? Remember this as well. When you start moving in a direction, if it doesn't work out perfectly, if you make mistakes, that's okay. Be determined to get back up and keep it moving and keep pushing because you're working on going somewhere. You're working on doing something that you've never done. Maybe nobody even in your family has never done. Experiencing life a better life by doing what? Giving yourself new chances and new opportunities. If you stay in this rut, you're always going to have the things that you currently have. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to go and make things better or brighter. I don't care if you try to drink it away, it's not going to make a difference. You try to smoke it away, it's not going to make a difference. You try and eat it away, it's not going to make a difference. It's still going to be there. Life as you know it is going to remain the same until you decide to do something different, to grab it and be like, okay, we've got to go somewhere. So I've got to do something. Stuff won't change if I stay the same. You ought to see some growth going on within you. And as a result, it's going to cause people to see you differently because they'll be like, okay, they're persistent with this thing. So because of the persistence, the consistency, it's going to bring about growth. There's going to be expansion and enlargement. That's just a matter of you got to plug in to what's going to help you grow, what's going to help you overcome not only the excuses, not only the people, the places, the things, the nouns that seem to get in the way, but also help you overcome yourself. Because the honest truth is, we make bad decisions, whether we want to claim it or not. And they end up getting in the way. They end up causing us to miss it. They end up preventing us from having the life and the opportunities that we want. They end up just doing just enough to keep us off track. And that's really what it comes down to. Just enough of a nudge to get you out of line and out of whack with where you're supposed to be, where you know you set it, you're setting yourself up to be able to go to. How many people have you heard of who have received great and heightened opportunities as a result of just sitting still? Doesn't happen that way. It'd be great because there are a lot of people just sitting on their hands right now, just thinking, hey, I'm okay. It's good enough. It's all right. It could be better, but I got a little bit of something. Why settle? Why settle? Why just stop right there when there's so much more? More requires more. You want more in life, you got to do more. You've got to do more. You want more opportunities, you've got to do more. Get up, be about something. Get up, show up. I don't care if you have to start off your day motivating yourself, getting yourself in the right frame of mind. So it's like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to succeed today. We're going to overcome today. We're going to tackle some stuff today. We're going to break in on new ground and new territory. We're not going to be stopped today. We're not going to be denied today. We're going to show ourselves to truly be about our business. And the thing is, you know what that's going to take. You know what that is going to require out of you. So start putting in work. Start moving in that direction. Start challenging yourself. And okay, it didn't work the first time, but keep working that thing. Look at different ways, success stories that may help to encourage you. I'll start you off like this. One of the biggest things that's a motivator for me, besides looking at my family, because I want to create something better, something greater for them. So I've got to pursue greater things than me, greater things than where I am right now. I can't stop here because here is okay, but it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not good enough. So I have to keep going. I have to pursue. I have to show them a work ethic. I have to show them consistency. I have to show them diligence. But another thing that shows that for me, and this is me personally, I like motivational movies. So the real life stories about how things happen and how people put in work and time. So one of my favorites, The Pursuit of Happiness. With all the struggles and everything that that man went through, to know that now he's well established, got his own business, multi-millionaire. Yeah, watch the movie. Watch the movie. But the whole point is, you want a better living, you want a better job, you want better than better relationships. Start working on your repetition. The good, what you do that's good. Stay balanced. It's not, well, I'm off work, so I shut down mostly and mainly, and then I look to do maybe a little something towards my future. We've got to stay balanced. I'm not saying totally cut out the play. If you're disciplined enough to do that, go ahead. But if not, okay, let's start working it in. Let's go bit by bit, step by step. Come on, let's just set ourselves up so we can grow and graduate, get out of this rut, get out of this state, not stay here any longer than we have to. Because if this is frustrating, let's get into something new. Let's discover how and who, how great we can really be. How great do you really see yourself? Is this the end? Is this all there is? Let's work on making better choices that grant us and give us better opportunities so that we can receive a better life. And not just for us, but those around us, our families, our friends. Shoot, even those that may become, might be, whether it's now or in the future, business partners. Let me help you. The world needs to hear what you have, what you've got. There's stuff that's going on in here or in here that if we start tapping into it, we will see formidable, formidable change in our lives. Get up and get to doing. Be about something, not no longer just sitting on the couch, spending 5 and 6 hours on Facebook just to see how other people are living, watching endless hours on YouTube just to see what other people are doing. Do you understand that some of these popular sites on YouTube, people are getting paid for? You are making them money. Yeah, they tell you real quick, jump on here, like, subscribe. You want to see more of this content? Like and subscribe. Follow us. So they are doing some of the same things you could be doing right now and benefiting yourself. Come on. There are so many ways to get things done, even now. Even now. So don't let the pandemic be your excuse. Shoot, don't let fear be your excuse. Do you know how many people have reinvented themselves amongst all this that has taken place here in the last year, year and a half? They got up and they start doing new things. Some people have created new careers, new businesses, new ventures, new opportunities. Been determined, I'm not going to slow down. I'm not going to stop. Okay, you took this away, but I will find something else that will work for me. And I don't care if you weren't born with a silver spoon in your mouth or not. What are you determined to do? What are you determined you're going to do, going to be, going to become? And I don't care what people have said about you in the past. I don't care what your current life situation looks like. You can change it. You can change it. Just by getting up and doing, you can change it. So don't let this be your stopping point. Let this be a new starting point. Let this be the place where your dreams start to come to pass, where you start excelling and accelerating. You got to start believing you're excellent. You have gifts, skills that qualify you for a better life. You do. And you've got it right now. Or if you see it, okay, if I could just learn how to do this, start learning. Start learning. Well, I don't know where to go. Start looking it up. Start talking to some people maybe who are in that field, who you might need, who you might already know. No more excuses. Why are you justifying you denying yourself those opportunities to get out of situations, out of places that you don't want to be in? Why stay in this mess any longer than you have to? Be about change. Be about change. Be about your future. Because guess what? You make and you name your future every single day. So don't stop. Pursue, pursue, pursue. If you can give an hour, give an hour. If you got 2 hours, give that 2 hours. Whatever you got, just start from there. And it's like, okay, I don't have the tools. I need to learn. Start learning. Sign up for some classes. There are classes that you can sign up for in different areas and places that are free. Yes, free. Especially if you live in a larger city, there are a lot of places. And you say, well, they might be shut down now. Have you checked? Have you found out? And again, there are a lot of people still doing Zooms for a lot of different subject matter. So you want to get more skill on the job? You can just start checking and see it if there's a Zoom for that. Or you can start checking with people on the different medias to see if they have more information for you on what you're trying to become or do. There's help for you. You just have to initiate going somewhere so you can get in contact with the help. But if you're helpless, no one can help you. So don't just sit there and say, I don't know what to do. You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. And let me put it to you like this. You have to be about something. The only thing a bump on the log gets is saddle. You've got to be about going somewhere. And you've got to be determined to get there. Nobody's going to have more determination than you. So if you don't show determination, there's no hope. There's no hope. You've got to start turning this thing around. You've got to start changing the atmosphere around you. You've got to start affecting and effectively moving for the sake of your future. Your future's on the line. If it's important, fight for it. If it's important, do more than you've done before. If it's important, get up and be about something. Anybody can say, I've got an idea. But the ones who are sincere and serious, they're doing something with that idea. They're doing something concerning that idea. It's not just something that's rattling around their brain. They've got it on paper. They're laying out a plan. They're doing work and research behind the scenes. They're talking to people. They're the movers. They're the shakers. And honestly, they might be the ones that you end up working for if you just continue to practice the same thing that you're currently doing. So let's start moving ourselves forward by doing something that's getting us to the point and to the place that we want to be. We got to start working. We got to start moving. We can't give up. We can't quit now. We got to start being about it, being about business, being about growing, being about birthing, being about our own futures. So let's get out the cage. Let's get out the rut. Let's get out the box and start working. And just literally start from where you are. You don't have all the resources, you don't have all the people. Start trying to find ways until it starts coming to you. But as you continue to work, it'll start coming to you. Go, 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 go. Be about movement. Be about activity. Be about progression. Because once you start tasting and seeing, hey, I'm starting to see success. I'm starting to feel success. I'm starting to generate energy around what I'm doing. It'll just propel you even further. So let's go. Let's go. And not stay here and not be denied and not just watch life pass us by because we're just sitting. I think there's a scientific term that says that an object at rest remains at rest until some energy or force begins to propel it. Are you at rest? Are you content to remain at rest? Or are you going to start building some energy, generating some inertia to start prompting and moving yourself forward? Because the one thing about inertia, once it starts going, you build up enough inertia, it's it will sustain you for long distances. So it's not a burst. Steady progression. Steady progression that keeps things going and allows you to even build up more speed. So let's be about the building right now. Let's be about building. Let's be about shaping a better today, a better tomorrow starting today. I don't care if it's a lot or a little. Start with where you are. Be true and real with yourself. Give yourself a realistic goal. Okay, I can start here and I can begin to move myself forward. I can start here and I can begin to progress. I can start here and start knocking some things out. Come on, we're building for just our better lives. They're out there. They're really right before us. We just have to start reaching towards them. Not just sitting back and watching life go by. But I've got to be about more than that. I've got to be more than my Facebook app. I've got to be more than my Twitter feed. I've got to be more than my Instagram. I've got to be more than my Messenger. I've got to be more. I've got to be more. I've got to be more than just a YouTuber or YouTube watcher. I got to be more than my TV and my favorite shows and programs. I got to be more than just hanging out with my friends. I've got to be more. I've got to be more so I can start seeing more. So come on, push the excuses aside, eliminate them so that then there's nothing stopping you because you've gotten out of the way of your opportunities being held up. So come on, let's get to work. Come on, let's start scheduling. Let's start setting plans. Let's start disciplining ourselves. Let's start turning off the device. Let's start getting to work, making plans, getting schedules, talking to people about what it is we need to hear so that we can become something greater, something more. So I'm looking forward to hearing about, you know what? I start doing that. I got serious, I got sincere, and I got to work. And I'm starting to see some change. I'm starting to see some things affect me. I'm starting to see some things move in my direction. I can't wait to hear how people are turning their lives around because they're tired of sitting on the sidelines. They're done with staying in the same place. Let that be you. Let that be you. And let's get to going somewhere. All right. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in on today. Hopefully these words were encouraging and fulfilling and help to just generate just effort in you so that you, by this time, even by this time next week, you've done something. You've done something whether it's just one day out the week, every day out the week, few minutes, few moments. All it takes is 21 days for something to become a habit. 3 weeks of a particular practice, and it becomes a habit. So come on, let's advance. Let's move. Let's get up and be about it. Let's get up and do something. Let's get up and not stay in this same place anymore. Because I tell you this, you are designed for great things. You are designed for greatness. Believe that and start putting that before yourself so that you feel the urge and you feel it's necessary to go, do, and be more than who you are right now today. All right. And with that, again, thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to talking to you again here on the 28th. So, again, that'll be 2 Fridays from now, 2 p.m. Love you. Looking forward to hearing from you as far as how things are changing, how things are moving, and how things are just improving in your lives. See you next time. Bye.